Darius, I know we've already told you a million times, but I just want you to know your grandmother and I are extremely proud of you for agreeing to do this.
We sure are. This is a huge opportunity for you to get out there and make something of yourself, baby.
Now we need to be leaving here in the next 30 minutes if we're going to make it on time. I already got everything loaded up in the car, so go on ahead and make sure you're not forgetting anything so we can hit the road.
Man, never in a million years did I think I'd be leaving a block, especially not to go to no boarding school. Besides the Tar Heels, I honestly don't even know what there is in North Carolina. Anyways, we got like a 12-hour ride ahead of us, so I figured that'll give us more than enough time to get acquainted. Kenny Ray Smith, my dad. Hustler, player, drug dealer, robber. I mean, you could have called him a lot of things, but the one thing you could never call him was broke. See, he grew up a very hard life. Losing both parents at a young age, he was forced to mature a lot faster than most. Now, for some reason, my pops hates to talk about the old days, but from what I heard, man, dude was known for punching on shit and having money. During his heyday, he and his crew had the streets of Champaign, Illinois in a headlock. Amira Lee Washington, my mom, caring, loving, gentle, really just a beautiful soul. See, she was raised in a very strict household where love and affection came secondary to respect and manners. Now, my grandparents held very strong religious beliefs, so as soon as they found out my mom was pregnant with me in high school, they kicked her out the crib. Well, that's when my pop stepped in. He moved me and my mom about 2 hours away to his crib in Champaign. Man, life at my pop's crib was lovely. I swear it seemed like anything I wanted I got. But look, I always knew my pops was getting money, but it wasn't until the feds kicked in our front door that I would find out how. See, apparently he and a few others were responsible for several armed robberies around the area. I still remember going to my dad's court dates, not really being able to understand what was going on, but when the judge handed out that sentence, man, I knew right then and there it would be a very long time until I saw my pops again as a free man. Southside Chicago, the belly of the beast. In the early 2000s, this place was a war zone, and it's still that today. After my pops got locked up, my mom's had no choice but to move us back here so she can get some help from my grandparents. I jumped off the porch in middle school and dove head first into the streets. Mom's was working 2 and 3 jobs, so the majority of the time I was alone. She'd be getting off work and I'd be leaving the house to go to school, or I'd be coming home from school and she'd be leaving to go to work. Well, it wasn't long until I completely stopped going to school and started to follow in my pop's footsteps. I got my hands on my first gun and went to work. Yeah, my first stain was this corner store right outside our neighborhood, but then I quickly upgraded and tried to hit this check cashing spot on the other side of town. Listen, bro, my crime spree didn't last very long. Them hoes locked me in the lobby while I was trying to make my escape. 12 came and yeah, bro, it was all bad, but luckily since I was a minor, I basically walked away with a slap on the wrist. My mom did everything she could to save me from the streets. She knew with me being alone all the time, I was bound to get in more trouble. So she got me a membership at the local YMCA. Now, this was my first time playing organized basketball and bruh, I instantly fell in love with the game. I mean, everything just seemed to come so natural to me. It was almost like it was in my DNA. I spent that whole summer working on my game. So by the time the season came, I was already miles ahead of everybody on the freshman team. So I got moved up to JV after just 2 games. I did my thing there as well. And before I knew it, the varsity coach was pulling me to the side to have that talk.
Hey man, you've been doing your thing out there on the JV squad. The coaches and I, we've been talking. Think it's time for you to suit up varsity. You think you can handle that?
After only playing the game for a few months, I found myself getting solid minutes in my first varsity game as a freshman. I finished with like 13 points and 4 assists. The game came extremely easy to me and I knew it was only a matter of time until I became a starter. If I'm being honest, I felt some type of way that my mom couldn't get off work to come see me play, but I understood and honestly, I was kind of used to it since she had only been to a few of my JV games. But look, she was always excited to hear how I did though. Yeah, as soon as I walked through the door, she'd be waiting right there for the play-by-play breakdown of my performance. Well, this time things were a little bit different. Mama, I'm home. What the fuck? Mama! Mama? What the? No! Mama! Mama! What the fuck? Man, my grandpa's got to be the world's slowest driver. And then my grandma got the nerve to be talking the whole trip and playing gospel music. I swear this has been the longest 5 hours of my life, and I'm really tweaking because we got like 7 hours left. But it is what it is, man. Let's get back to the story. At just 34 years old, my mom suffered a stroke. The doctor said the constant stress and lack of sleep were huge factors and ultimately cost her life. So I mean, basically you can say she worked herself to death. Now I'm sure you can imagine how hard it was for me, losing really my only parent, but also finding her dead like that didn't help either. I ended up going to stay with my grandparents who lived just a few houses down from my mom's crib. Now my grandpa is a well-respected pastor at this Lutheran church that's been a pillar in our community for years. Many people refer to him as a peacekeeper as he's been able to help solve several gang feuds in the city. But to me, he's just my grandpa, a smooth, laid-back type of dude with a lot of wisdom and a lot of respect. Now, my granny, that's who I would consider a hard ass. Yeah, she plays no games and she has a very short temper. Her and my grandpa seem to balance each other out very well. But look, when I first got to their crib, man, they tried to sit me down and establish that old school type of parenting. You know, curfews, chores, punishments, that type of stuff. Now, of course, I was grateful they took me in, but if I'm being honest, man, my mom was really the only person that could keep me out the streets. And with her being gone, yeah, it was just a matter of time before I went back to my old ways. While snooping around my grandparents' medicine cabinet, I hit the jackpot. They had a whole bunch of old prescriptions that they hadn't thrown out. See, to them it was trash, but to me it was treasure. I took anything with value that I could find and started making transactions. You can get your hands on some perks really easy in the city, but real prescription lean, man, that's a different story. I re-upped and made a few more plays, and then I put the guys on so we all could eat. It was me, Dre, Lil Rob, Kev, and a few others. Now, we're gonna get into each of their stories on the next episode, but for all you need to know right now is these was my brothers. Yeah, we was having real motion in the city. At this point, I had completely given up sports. Yeah, I had put the ball down and picked the pistol up. But look, naturally, when you have emotion, jealousy starts to come from out of nowhere. Well, that jealousy caused my best friend Dre to lose his life and eventually kicked off a bloody war in my neighborhood. But like I said, man, we're gonna get into all that on the next episode. I found myself in a very serious situation and got locked up for a few weeks. Luckily, the respect the judge had for my grandpa allowed me to get out, but only under the stipulation that I leave the state of Illinois until I turn 18. Well, that's why I'm going here, Chapel Hill Academy. It's a prep school somewhere up in North Carolina. I mean, it was either this or sit in jail for only God knows how long. But my grandpa's real good friends with the priest there, so he was able to pull some strings and get me enrolled. I guess they're known for their academics and supposedly they got a real good squad there. I hear a few players made it to the league, but I don't know, man, we'll see. As of right now, I'm not really focused on hooping, but I mean, who knows what the future holds. Anyways, I know things gonna be hectic when we get there since today is move-in day, so I'm gonna try to get a little bit of rest. I'll tap back in with y'all in a minute. Hey man, it's your boy No Cap Shaq, and we just finished up the first episode of the CHIRAQ series. Man, I'm really enjoying this series so far, and I hope you are as well. But listen, I got a very special announcement to make. Yeah, I like to introduce the Vision Sports universe. This is something my guy Azul2K has been working on for some time now. So I know y'all hate when the series comes to an end and you never hear about your favorite player again, right? Well, you don't gotta worry about that no more. See, in this universe, your favorite characters like Anthony King and Reggie King, yeah, they'll live on forever, but I can't guarantee they'll be legends. Hey man, you might see Reggie as a retired substitute teacher after flopping out the NFL, or maybe Anthony will go down as a legend in the game. Also, you'll see some of Azul's characters in my episodes and some of my characters in his. I'm telling y'all, it's finna be lit. But listen, man, we really changing the game with this one, so make sure y'all stay tuned and also go tap in with my guy Azul2K. I'm on to the next one.